Anime is not for you. It was not made for you. You are out of your rabbit ass mind if you think anime was created for you. I've come to a sickening conclusion about nerds and nerd fandoms. You all are cowards, punks, sissies, jellybacks. However, some of these very nerds and nerd fandoms I have respect for. Some of them, because they're upfront with you and they will tell you the truth. But before I start this rant, let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is John, and I am the owner of Afronomenon Studio and the writer and creator of the comic book hybrid manga Judgment Day. If you like dark fantasy, if you like Avatar: The Last Airbender, if you like Underworld, if you like Blade, and you want that all mixed in with the 95 Source Awards, this is your story. Now back to these cowards. Now, the realization I had, cowards, you are, starts simply. Most nerds are social pariahs, and they will not skip on telling you that they were a pariah of some sort. Oh, they used to make fun of me because I like anime. All these girls really don't like anime. They're just doing it for attention. Quick, name every character in Dragon Ball Z besides Goku and Vegeta. You're not a real fan. Luffy solos. Naruto speed blitzes everybody. Anyway, these people tend to say that they were an outcast. They're social pariah. I was a little bit, no, not even a little bit. I was a social pariah. I was awkward everywhere. And these very people, you would think that they would be more accepting of people considering that they themselves claim to have been social pariahs, or that people made fun of them, or that they were outcasts, or they were the black sheep, and nobody wanted to be around them or have a conversation with them, and they were unaccepted. You would think that type of person would be very accepting. But I found that these cowards are not. At all. A few days ago, my girlfriend had a discussion that went viral. It's probably one of her most watched videos on her account, especially this year. In it, we talked about the gaslighting that happens at nerd cons that are not black focused or diverse focused or inclusive at all. We talked about the faces that we see. We talked about our experiences as how these male nerds treat us. I just can't connect to black characters. We had this discussion, and obviously we got gaslit like crazy on TikTok. And lo and behold, 2 days later, I get this. Ignoring the fact that she says she don't know what brought her there. Obviously, if you're consuming this type of content, that's what brought you to my video. However, the part of the comment we need to focus more on is the idea that maybe they think your content is not for them. Anime is not for you. It was not made for you. You are out of your rabbit ass mind if you think anime was created for you. It was not. And yet, you love it. I love it. We love it. We love it together. But this is why you guys are cowards. Now, most artists, most creators understand that you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I know for a fact I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Especially black and people of color creators and LGBTQ creators. We know that we're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. So we're not expecting everybody to love us. However, when some of us go to these cons, I can't connect the black characters. You do understand we can see your faces, right? You do understand we can see the looks. However, we get these responses that, oh, it's not for me. I can't connect with black characters. I'm not their target demographic. That's fucking weird because like I said earlier, anime was not created for you, and yet you enjoy it. Anime was created specifically to build up the self-esteems of Japanese children whose parents were devastated by what happened in World War II. That's what bolstered anime. And anime did not start being directed towards the West until they saw that they can make a hell of a lot more money if they made you guys the target demographic. So, in many cases, there are a lot of animes that are Eurocentric as fuck because they know you will buy it. They know that you're going to like their MC because they got green or blue eyes and blonde hair. They know that if they centralize the West, there's a good chance that you are going to catch on to it and you're going to love it. But anime was not created for you and you still love it. Now, think about this. Anime was not created for me and I still love it. Anime was not created for you and you still love it. I just need you to think about that. If a black and brown indie creator creates something, why do you think it's not made for you? And why do you think you cannot enjoy this? You see Judgment Day at your local con. You roll your eyes and walk away. You see black characters, you roll your eyes and walk away. Why are you rationalizing that if a black person made it, that it's not for you? Think about it. Don't start talking and writing angrily in the comments. Think about that concept, that question rather. Why do you think if it's not made for you, that you cannot enjoy it, but you enjoy anime? For example, we all know about the bronies, right? Those are the fans of My Little Pony that are grown-ass men. We know about the bronies. My Little Pony is not directed at those men at all. And yet they have a big following. Obviously, the following is still more than likely little girls because that's their target audience. But these grown-ass men love themselves some My Little Pony. Why can't that be you for someone who doesn't look like you? Black people do it. People of color do this. I loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And now I have a comic book that has vampires, vampire bounty hunters, vampire slayers. They had one black girl in that whole show. One black girl. And she was the slayer from, I think, the Caribbean. And I think she died almost immediately, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Now, the people I said that aren't cowards that I have respect for, they'll tell you straight up, art's not really my thing. That sort of thing. They'll be honest. And I'm cool with that. But I'm cool with that instead of the narrative that I just can't connect to black characters. If it's black, it's not for me. The great Dwayne McDuffie had to deal with this very fucking thing when he was writing some of the most classic stories in DC. He put more than 2 black people on a JLA. They lost their fucking minds. These people that I'm saying that I have respect for, they'll tell you, oh, it's just not my thing. Or they come up, they'll look at it, well, this is cool, but it's not my thing. Or they just keep their fucking opinion to themselves. Hard to do, huh? Right? And this is why you guys are cowards. Because I would much rather you tell the truth. Because the truth is simply that you see black and you don't want nothing to do with black. That is the truth. Because you guys consume so much content that is not for you. And you still love it. And that's okay. But when you decide, oh, I'm going to get on somebody's video and try to gaslight them and say, oh, well, the art's not that great, but yo punk ass watch fucking One Piece? The art is not great in One Piece. It isn't. Let's be honest. You like Shin-Chan? What's that new one that everybody was talking about? The King's something? I don't know. I'll post it up here or something. Or you decide to tell, oh, well, you're just making it about black and white and it's all black this and all black that. I've watched so many shows where there's not a black person in it. Why can't you consume content where everybody's black on that show? The very first Star Wars, I'm a big Star Wars fan. Consumed it, not a black person in sight. Got a black person in the second and third movie and the rest of the movies, but not a black person in sight in the very first movie. Not one. See, this is why I say you're cowards. Because instead of just telling the truth and being like, that's some N-word shit, and just be like, I don't want to do nothing with N-word stuff, you make up excuses as to why you cannot consume content that you wouldn't even know if you'll like it or not because you're not willing to give it a shot. And it's not the aesthetics. I know the art is great. Random people I do not know tell me about the artwork. And I constantly relay it to my artist, who's also my Suma. Random people. That's the video. Don't be a fucking coward. And that information I got about anime, I believe it was Toye that said that that's what it was for. I'm going to look the information up. I'm even put it up here if I find it. But I remember there was a statement about animation and anime and the creation of anime when I was doing history of animation in school. And one of the things was a whole thing about how anime was legitimately was being used to build up the self-esteems of Japanese children. It's crazy because y'all MCs didn't teach y'all nothing. They didn't teach y'all to be brave. Tell the truth. Tell the truth to yourself. And I'm going to ask you this question again. Why do you think if it's not made for you that you cannot enjoy it? Now, if you're just like, oh, I'm not really big into dark fantasy, understandable. Oh, I'm not really into science fiction. I am a Star Wars fan, not a Star Trek fan. Star Trek is more science fiction. Star Wars is more fantasy. If I see somebody, another black person who does sci-fi, if there's no fantasy elements to it, I more than likely will not necessarily fantasy, no, like mysticism to it, more than likely I'm not going to be interested in it. I don't like sci-fi. Everybody loves, was it the Afro sci-fi, Afro futurism? I'm not into it at all. I'm living in the now. I don't want to live in a future. I don't want to constantly be given a future where there's a Wakanda that don't exist today when we could make that Wakanda. This is about to turn to something else because I got ADD. But as I was saying, stop being cowards. You're better than that. Not only that, again, you guys should be the most accepting people, period, in the nerdum community. Because even though I'm talking specifically about my experience as a black creator trying to sell to my demographic, which is people who like dark fantasy, if you like Berserk, you're going to fuck with this. Point blank. If you like Gantz, you want to love Judgment Day. Avatar Last Airbender, obviously. But again, stop being cowards. Be honest with yourselves. Ask yourself that question. Because most of you are not looking at the art at all. You're not opening the book. We see your faces. And then when we talk about our experiences, you're in our inbox telling us that, oh, I don't think it's just not for us. This is not a race thing. Most of the shit you consume was not created specifically for you. You think Dragon Ball Z was created for you? No, it was not. You think all those animes, specifically pre-2000s, was made for you? No, it was not. But you still enjoy it. And that's the point of this video. Ask yourself that question and be real with yourself. Right? I understand if you don't like slice of lives or this thing. It's okay. I'm not saying that you should just consume everything. I'm saying that if you see something black or you see something different and your first thought is not for me, that is a wild statement to say to yourself because you consume content that wasn't for you. Obviously, you made it in your mind that it's for you now because, oh, it's a fantasy, so it's for all the fantasy fans. No. Anyway, stop being delusional cowards. Normal, and this doesn't just go to, this goes to also regular consumers because consumers do the same shit. They see something black and automatically that it's not for them. It's unreal. And do you look at who's actually going to go see all those slave movies that come out and you see who the people actually putting money towards it, and it ain't black people. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and tell me in the comments how you hated this video. What do you think? Honestly, I want to know what you think about this whole thing. I want to know. Because being told constantly that, oh, that's not for me, or it's not marketed toward me, or using those excuses as a way to free yourselves of even trying it, it's okay to say, it just doesn't look like my cup of tea. But you also should say, ask yourself why it doesn't look like your cup of tea. And you should be honest with yourself. A lot of people ain't going to do that. They're not going to do it because a lot of people can't be honest with themselves. I'm cool. Again, I'm cool. I know that I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I know Judgment Day is not everybody's cup of tea. But I also know it's good. And I also know There's a lot of shit that I've done watched, like Yu Yu Hakusho and stuff like that, that looked like it wasn't my cup of tea, and I finally sat down and watched it. I was like, oh, this is some good shit. That's how it happens for most stuff, but it is what it is. That's an anime. I'm talking about mangas and comic books right now too. But yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, tell me what you think in the comments, and we can have a discussion, a civil discussion. All right, y'all be easy.
The bamboo earrings, baby.